Race 2 for the HRCA Historic Sports Cars is about to get underway. We're assembled up in the assembly area, obviously. Jackie Cochran won the first race in his beast of a Tiger, 4.7 litre V8. Would have put it past him to get the win again. But Bernard Foley was third place in his MGB V8. Fantastic looking machine, very powerful. Let's have a quick word with John McCandless in his 2 litre Crossley. John, second place in race 1.
Yeah.
You're starting 4th on the grid. Where can you go from there?
Well, I'm hoping to do a second again. If I can get past the silver GT, the MGB GT, I'll get second again.
I love it. He's very quick in a straight line, but you've got a corner speed.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I have no answer for him in a straight line. Just takes off. At after every corner he's away, you know. So, but he's not as quick around the corners as this car would be.
Brilliant. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. So with that, let's see how this last race pans out. Andy, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Anthony. Cars are lining up on the grid. Here is how they line up. It is Jackie Cochran from John Benson on the front row, Bernard Foley and Steve Morris row 2, ahead of John McCandless and Tim Doherty. Seamus Hobbs and Wolfgang Schnittger again on the 4th row, ahead of Kieran Smith and Ken McAvoy, Liam Ruth and Edmund Cassidy, with Noel Kavanagh once again bringing up the rear. Well, the man that I'm watching here most definitely is John McCandless, because he got through into second place late on in the first race. If he can make a good start in the Crossley, who knows, he might have a chance to challenge Cochrane for the victory. The red lights go on. Out they go, away we go, and we're on board here. That was a good start made actually there, wasn't it, by Steve Morris, and he will launch into the race lead, I think, towards turn number 1, and here comes McCandless round the outside for second place, but Jackie Cochran fighting back. Then we've got the MG in there, of course, as well, the V8 GT of Bernard Foley. It's all getting very, very messy through the first few corners, but down into third place, and again, a great start for our race 1 winner, Jackie Cochran. The heavier car against some of the lighter sports cars like the Crossleys, never going to get off the line quite as well, but as we saw, it didn't take Jackie long to get back into the race lead first time out. Down towards the chicane they go. Here is some battling going on further back, and a good look there at Wolfgang Schnittger's MG midget that we didn't see much of in this one, unfortunately pulled off in the opening lap. The MK Indy there of Kieran Smith working his way through as well, the yellow and silver car. But this for the race lead, and well, I said that John McCandless might have a chance of winning this one. He's right on the tail now of our leader as they head into the hairpin. Just a late apex taken there by Steve Morris, and so he hangs on to the lead. The top 4 much more closely bunched this time around than they were at any point in race 1. Here comes the move though. McCandless up the inside line down the pit straight, makes it look easy. That car a little bit quicker in a straight line. He goes through on the inside line down towards Debtor's Dip. There's the Lotus number 47 going through as well. That's Clive Brandon running strongly at the early stages of this one. But John McCandless is now your race leader. Steve Morris down to 2nd. Jackie Cochran is 3rd. And 4th place now for Bernard Foley. Then 5th position for Clive Brandon. 6th position is Seamus Hobbs. And then 7th for the MK Indy of Kieran Smith. Ahead of the Capri next of Tommy Doherty. And then it's Wolfgang Schnittger in his 1.4 litre MG midget. So it's all quite tightly packed at the front of the field. There is the 79 car Kieran Smith, 2 litre MK Indy. MK Indy's very popular in Sports Saloons championships to this day, historic and contemporary. As you can see, road legal MK Indy works his way through the right left of the John Cross chicane, back out onto the pit straight. At the top of the screen we can see the battle going on for second place as Jackie Cochran was trying to go around the outside there of Steve Morris. It didn't work going into the hairpin. He should have the exit speed, which he does, drive straight past, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Bernard Foley go with him, because that V8 powered MGB GT is unsurprisingly very potent in the straight line, and indeed up the inside he goes. Had to actually make the move stick through Debtor's Dip though, which took some doing, and now of course Morris tries to come back at him under braking for Colonial and does so. So 3rd position changing hands twice in 2 corners there. We're on board now with the V8 GT in now 4th position. We get a big wiggle coming out of Colonial and gets out over the grass. That was a good save. Shows that the car is very difficult to handle through the corners, and this is why he has to maximise that straight line performance. Gets the opportunity soon, but I don't think he's going to be close enough really, Steve Morris, to resume his attack down the back straight. Change of position further back. Kieran Smith's got himself ahead of Seamus Hobbs now, and about to challenge the pair of them is Tommy Doherty, who hasn't had a great start. He's lost a bit of ground, but he's starting to pick his way back through. Tommy finished the first race in 6th position, and he finished ahead of both of these two, so he ought to be able to find a way through. No, well, I was wrong about Bernard Foley. He was able to closed back in on Steve Morris, retook third place at the hairpin and should now scoot away again down the pit straight and through Debtors Dip. So back into third place goes the MG. It is the Sunbeam Tiger that leads the way now, though. Jackie Cochrane has found a way ahead of John McCandless, who's down to second in the Crossley 47S. Then we've got the MG of Bernard Foley. Steve Morris is Crossley 42S. He's running in fourth position. Same 2-litre engine though, very similar chassis of course. Just a slightly older model than the 47S of John McCandless on the road. You can see that it, again, he sees the advantage of the MG through the corners. Just can't go anywhere with it when we get near anything even vaguely resembling a straight. You can see he carries much more speed off the turn, but then just watches as the V8 powered MG rumbles away in a straight line. Back marker's already starting to become a factor. That 50mm Cavender's 1.8 litre MGV. So there's a lap there to the leaders. Surprisingly, by the way, we have not seen Carl brought out the red flag earlier on. Ethan Cook take the start of the race. So his day unfortunately not ending well. That red flag earlier on, but thankfully he was okay. Car though certainly not, and his wallet I'd imagine is taking a pretty big dint too. Third place though, we wind our way through Colonial in the MG of Bernard Foley. Gets through there a bit more cleanly this time, less spectacular sideways antics as he tries to, if nothing else, keep the tyres underneath him as well, because that's going to be a factor as the race goes on. This race due to run to 15 minutes plus a lap, so they're going to get a good 14-15 laps in, I reckon. They're averaging just over a minute a lap, so 14-15 laps is about right, I reckon. And even on a circuit like this that isn't that hard on the tyres, that MG uses its tyres up pretty quickly nonetheless. A good view there of the striking livery on the MG midget of Wolfgang Schnittger, who's trying to chase down the MG GT of Seamus Hobbs, even, which dives up the inside of a back marker into Colonial. More unique looking cars, almost in the style of the old mod sports machines, isn't it? That from the 70s and 80s, and not quite as powerful, but still just as striking. So too is this car of Schnittger, which weaves its way out through the right-hand Colonial, almost reminiscent of some of the BMW art cars over the year. Of course, this isn't a BMW, it's a very British MG, but is being absolutely hammered through the corners as well. Really pushing on there was Wolfgang. Back with our third place man now, Bernard Foley, who's just starting to eke out a bit of a gap now over Steve Morris. Steve not quite able to live with him enough to be able to keep applying the pressure. The gap, if anything, between second and third is coming down. John McCandless possibly a bit help in traffic. Of course, the MG is not that quick through the corners anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it gets caught, if it catches the back markers through the twisty stuff, because as soon as you get to a straight, it just blasts on through. But for McCandless, he has to be as quick as possible through the corners. That's where he makes his lap time up. So if he catches a back marker through a technical section of circuit, then it can really have an adverse effect on his lap times, and therefore put him under pressure from the car behind. And we can see the car behind, the car we're riding the board with now, that's chasing him down, is definitely getting closer. Bernard Foley, to give him credit, he's not just relying on the horsepower of that MG, he's driving it well through the corners as well. And there's a car we haven't seen yet, Connor Cook in the yellow MG. We were riding on board with it in race one when it conked out at the far end of the circuit. Good to see that Connor, for the time being at least, is still running in his open top MG. And the losing the roof, I suppose, saves a bit of weight. Has a bit of air conditioning in as well, so he's looking fairly comfortable there, and good to see that he's keeping the car going this time out. So there we can see second, third and fourth place in the same shot as they work their way through Colonial and Fisherman and out onto the run towards the chicane. Oh, Connor Cook very sideways over the curbs of Colonial then. They're quite vicious curbs, they're not quite as smooth and easy to use as the ones at the chicane. If you click one of those curbs, it really does seem to unsettle the car. Liam Ruth here in the 1.4 litre MG midget working his way through. See the midgets really do, the midgets and the MGs, the lightweight sports cars really using all of the curbs, trying to maximise their potential speed through the corners. Back with the midfield runners, and there's Wolfgang Schnittger, and who's he found to have a play with there? That's the number 6 car, isn't it, of Edmund Cassidy, so this is 4 position. Edmund Cassidy, who I believe is coming through from towards the rear of the field. he's trying to continue to pick his way up the order. Then we've got this fight going on between the MK Indy of Seamus Hobbs and the MGGT of MGGT of Seamus Hobbs and the MK Indy of Kieran Smith. This is for a position just towards the back end of the top 10. It's fairly equally matched across most of the circuit. You can see in a straight line the gap is not extending rapidly. I think the number 6 car of Edmund Cassidy probably has the pace to overtake all of these cars. He's going to the inside of Schnittger now, down towards the hairpin. They're side by side in front of them, and right around the outside goes Seamus Hobbs. If he can pull that one off, that's one of the moves of the day. I think he might do, you know. Now we'll see a comparison of straight line speed because they're wheel to wheel out onto the pit straight. The MK Indy on the right, on the left is the MG. The MK Indy with its nose in front will hold on to the position, but they're both definitely being reeled in now by Edmund Cassidy as they head back down into the first corner. This unique rearwards view from the 4th place Crossley of Steve Morris, showing an empty circuit actually behind him, and in front of him, and not that far in front of him, is the 2nd place car of John McCandless and the 3rd place car of Bernard Foley. Now he's got someone that's just overtaken, and that is Wolfgang Schnittger's MG. As he goes in towards Fisherman. This battle that he's about to put a lap on is all getting very entertaining. But we see a similar move pulled this time by Seamus Hobbs, breaking down the hair, but carrying good speed, much more speed through the chicane actually this time than the MK Indy in front, but then actually does seem to run out of puff slightly onto the straight. He was the race leader as well. And this is Jackie Cochrane about to try and put a lap on them. In fact, it was Cochrane we were riding on board with moments or two ago. And, past he goes, but he's sort of splitting them now as they head into the hairpin. There's tyre smoke, there's someone running wide in front of us presumably. No, there's no one on the grass, so one of the back markers, yes, we've had a change there, haven't we? So Edmund Cassidy has now got himself ahead of Seamus Hobbs. And we'll now go after Kieran Smith on the run down the pit straight. Edmund Cassidy's 4.5 litre Sunbeam Tiger, much quicker in a straight line than the cars that it's racing with. Here's the 5th place man, Clive Brandon, who is far from lonely because he's still got the 6th place Ford Capri of Tommy Docherty breathing down his neck. Not much distance between them, just over a second now in traffic, but it's been ebbing and flowing as they catch back markers and then get some clean air. They're about to put a lap on the Connor Cook car. So run down into the head. There is the big Capri, and again here in the Lotus Capri battle, we've got the lightweight Lotus and the more cumbersome Capri, which has a lot more straight lines, so certainly a little bit more straight line speed, sufficient that if you get close enough onto the straights, you should be able to make the overtake, but it's getting close enough that's proving to be the problem. Back with our 3rd place man now, Bernard Foley. You can see off in the distance the yellow Crossley of John McCandless, who is now starting to get away again. They work their way along the pit straight again. Seamus Hobbs about to go another lap down. Oh no, his first lap down, excuse me. This is to the race leaders. The MK Indy, and you can see the MK Indy now has lost that position, so Kieran Smith's dropped back behind Edmund Cassidy. That, I believe, puts Edmund into 7th position. His next target is Tommy Docherty in the Capri and the Lotus of Clive Brandon. Whether or not he's going to get there, I'm not too sure. Through the tricky, long right-hander at Fisherman, you sort of take quite a late apex there, try and carry the speed down to the chicane. Good driving there from Kieran Smith, gets right out of the way, and Edmund Cassidy should be overtaken fairly straightforwardly down the back straight, which looks like it's going to happen. Maybe just compromised Foley slightly on the exit of the chicane, but he's not under any real immediate pressure from Steve Morris anymore either. There is our race leader, Jackie Cochrane. Works his way back along the start-finish line again, getting into the closing stages now, the final third of this 2nd HRCA race from the Kirkistown race circuit. And Jackie Cochrane looking good for a double race victory here. Kirkistown circuit that seems to perfectly suit the Sunbeam Tiger because it's one of the few cars out there that can do everything. It's got good straight line speed, it's very good through the corners, not so good through the corners I'm afraid. There is Connor Cook in the MGB, who locked up going into Colonial and then never really gathered it all together, then got completely sideways and just beyond a half spin, I'd say that was, through the right-hander. Luckily didn't connect with anything solid, didn't stall the car, has been able to continue, but just as the leader had put a lap on him, it would have been very different had it happened a few corners earlier, because Jackie Cochrane would have had to have picked his way through without getting too tangled up. Jackie now heading down towards the hairpin. It's heading into the closing stages now of this 2nd race of the day. There is the 2nd place man, John McCandless, who is closing slowly actually, and has been over the last few laps on the leader, but probably just traffic speaking. I think that it's an issue here for Cochrane by any means. Across the start finish line again, ticks off another lap. Of course, they only got 10 laps in the first race because of the red flag. This time it looks as though hopefully the race is going to go the full duration, so we should get the full 15 minutes in. Average speed, by the way, fairly impressive around this place. As you imagine, with the two long straights and the sequence of high-speed corners, Jackie Cochrane averaged 83 miles an hour in race one, which is pretty impressive actually. And on his fastest lap, actually averaged 85 miles an hour. So the Tiger really making good speed around the Kirkistown circuit. To show the speed differential, that compares to the sort of averages of 60 to 65 miles an hour for some of the MGBs and the MG midgets that are running further down the order. So when the leaders catch those sort of cars, that show the speed differential that they have to deal with, and it's not necessarily all that simple to just work your way through. You'd think if you were significantly quicker than a slower car, you'd just be able to drive through, but that's assuming you catch them on a straight through the corners. Things can often be very, very different matter indeed. Back across the line, onto the final lap goes Jackie Cochrane, dives up the inside of the Capri of Tommy Docherty. Now, is Tommy still in touch with Clive Brandon? We'll find out in a moment or so, because you would assume that Clive is around here somewhere. Jackie Cochrane is about to put him a lap down as well. If he does so, will that maybe bring the Capri back onto his tail? Right and left of Colonial into Fisherman's. Cochrane just tried to pick his way through the last few back markers. Where is the Lotus? There's the Lotus. There's quite a gap actually that's opened out between the 5th and 6th place cars. Doesn't look as though that's going to be a change either. I think we've got our positions pretty set now at the sharp end of the field. And it looks good for a double race victory for Jackie Cochrane here at Kirkistown. Dives up the inside of the Clive Brandon driven Lotus 47, appropriately enough running the X-Works Lotus covers, the colours even, and the number 47, but it's the number 23 car that is going to take the victory here for the second time this weekend at Kirkistown. Jackie Cochrane exits the final corner, sees the checkered flag, and wins the second HRCA race at Kirkistown, a double race victory for the Sunbeam Tiger. Second place is going to go to John McCandless. He comes through some 5.5 or so seconds back, 5.8 seconds to be precise was the gap, and third place should be Bernard Foley in the V8 powered 4.6 litre MGB GT. There he goes, and actually not a million miles behind him was Steve Morris in fourth. So it is Jackie Cochrane that takes the victory from McCandless, Foley, Morris and Clive Brandon in fifth. Tommy Docherty's Capri was sixth ahead of Edmund Cassidy seventh, Kieran Hobbs eighth and Seamus Hobbs in ninth position. Then rounding out the top 10, we had Wolfgang Schnittger even getting to the end this time. Ken McAvoy, Liam Ruth, Connor Cook and Noel Kavanagh rounding out the 14 finishers.
Well, Jackie, what a fantastic weekend it's been. 2 wins. How are you feeling? Got to be happy.
Yeah, we're happy enough. Yeah, I was a bit worried about the cross leash. They're so quick off the line, but I knew if I could get a couple of laps to warm my car up, I could deal with them, you know. Yeah,
they're very quick around the corners, but your straight line speed is just something else. Nobody can't deal with it.
Well, it's pulling in the region of 150 here, coming down the main straight. And then suddenly with the turn right, and I think sometime I'll end up in Portaferry or someplace.
You've obviously bored the engine out. You've got screwed a lot more power out of it. What's it producing now?
It produces a lot.
Right.
And as I said, sometimes it produces enough, but it's over 500 horsepower.
Oh, that's obviously what you need for the Kirkistown circuit. Congratulations, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, Bernard, it's been a very successful weekend. 2/3 in your heavily modified Rover V8, 4.6 litres, produces a hell of a lot of power. What's it like driving this thing around Kirkistown?
It's lovely to drive around Kirkistown. Yeah, I need to do a bit more work on the handling to stop lifting wheels through Debtors and Colonial too. But otherwise, it's a beautiful car to drive around here. It's a fast-flowing track, so it enjoys it.
It suits the power. Obviously, you've got the Crossleys on track with you. They're very quick through the corners. They keep up with you through that, and then you're away on the straights.
Yes, they put us under a lot of pressure through the twisty stuff because they're so light and they handle very well. But we got them on the straight, so yeah, it's a reasonably even mix over the whole lap, you know.
Oh, fantastic. It's been a successful weekend for you, so go and enjoy it. Well done.
Lovely. Okay, thanks very much.